Everybody, welcome back to my channel. So it's a really quiet Tuesday night. There's like nothing going on. It's actually been a really quiet day. It's been raining all day and trying to snow and overcast and just one of those days, right? So I started working on a catalog for my tarot. And I wanted to just do a video on it and just kind of show everybody what I'm up to and what I'm doing. And it's actually turning out really good. And there might be someone out there who's looking to kind of modernize and simplify their catalog of tarot and oracles. So it's something that I kind of started working on, and I'm just going to show you guys what I've been up to, and it might interest you, it might not. Um, I wanted to talk about this beautiful altar spread cloth. My girlfriend just came back from a trip to Montreal to see some friends and family, and she ended up bringing me back this gorgeous dark, it's called the Witch's Garden altar cloth. It's phenomenal. It's so beautiful. It's huge. It's almost the size of my entire table. It's like this velvet. It's so beautiful. I think that I think this is on some other people's channels. They have this one as well. I think it's the same one. I'm not 100% sure, but I couldn't resist putting it into this video because it is absolutely, it's just so beautiful and luxurious and just so beautiful. So I had to add it in, but yeah, like it was such a wonderful early Christmas gift from her. And I think it's one of the most beautiful altar cloths that I've ever had, to tell you the truth. Most of my altar cloths are like that cotton. Um, and the cat hair sticks all over it, like absolutely horrible. So far, I mean, it's only been here today. So far, there's not a whole lot of cat hair on it, so hopefully it stays looking this way. Because that would be fantastic. Because it's beautiful. It's so gorgeous, and it's good on the cards, especially like cards like this that have a lot of gilding or like shiny surfaces or stuff on them. It's so soft that it won't like scratch cards, which is awesome. Whereas this has kind of got like a rubbery print to it, and it's actually kind of rough. So I could see this scratching cards. But yeah, so let's get to what the whole video is about. Now this is like my tarot, like grimoire kind of in a way, and I just write down like a bunch of different things in here. Um, but mostly I use it to keep track of all my decks. Now, the problem with this is it's a mess. It's all over the place. It has the check marks here because as I transferred this information into here, I checked them off to make sure that it wasn't getting doubled, or forgotten or skipped. So I that's what that is. Like that's just pencil that can be erased off. But the problem is I was going to spend time like alphabetizing it all and doing all this stuff, but like it's too much. It's I have to then rip all these papers out and restart over again. And then I was going to do it in categories of like botanicals, animals, RWs, Thoth base. Like I was gonna kind of categorize it, but then there's some decks that kind of held a position more than a couple categories. So I was just kind of like, okay, I can't really do that. It was just becoming a headache and it was becoming an issue. And as I, got rid of decks, you can see there's whiteout everywhere. And I wrote other decks in their place, and it's a mess. It's an absolute mess, and it was annoying, and I can't stand it. And the thing is like I haven't even continued. There's so many more. There's probably at least another page, if not, well, maybe about half a page of more decks that have come in, and I've stopped writing in this because I find it so messy, and like I can't find what I'm looking for, or, I'll find myself going, oh, what is the inner compass? Like, which one is that one? And I'll have to think about it and think about the cover title. And that's really sad that, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I feel bad about that. And I'm like, I have that many decks that I'm actually starting to forget decks. So, like, that's kind of sad. But I mean, I collect them and I enjoy them and I use them and I want to put them into rotation. And, you know, so I wanted to find a way to create a catalog to keep track of my tarot and oracle. So I set out to do that. And I found a way to digitally do it. So this is my iPad. And here it is. It's immediately the first thing that popped up. Now, um, I'll show you guys if I can go to the beginning. So this was, it takes sometimes a couple minutes for it to load. Let's see if I close it down. There we go. All right. It updated and I don't know, it's not the greatest. I don't like the new update that came with it. There's like a lot of glitches in the new good notes, so I don't know, hopefully they take care of that because it's kind of annoying. Um, all right, so here it is. This said going this way, book journal. So this is actually a PDF download, whatever you want to call it. I bought off of Etsy. It was originally like $10, $11, and on Cyber Monday, the person who created this had it on for $1.77. It comes in the dark version or it comes into a light version, and each one was $1.77. So I bought both, not knowing what I wanted. Um, I mean, for $1.77, does it matter? No, it cost me like $3 and something cents. And I color matched, scribbled it out, and then wrote in deck catalog. Because as I got going on it, I started realizing that I can pretty much substitute decks in places of books, right? And that's kind of where I went with this. Obviously, there's things that I'm not going to use. So this is like a menu that it has. There's mood board, deck library, reviews, and like some of this stuff I'll be like just deleting or like scribbling out. So they're just not there. Obviously, this says reading journey. I kind of kept it that way because I was like reading journey, maybe like tarot reading journey, like reading with the decks. So I kind of left that there. I already changed, so deck, it was book of the month. I changed it to deck of the month, and it was book library, and I changed it to deck library. And it was as simple as me taking my pen, copying this color, scribbling out the word, and then, making a text box, trying to match the font as close as I could. He does provide, he or she, whoever it was that created this, they do provide a font and like color swatch thing that you can try to match to. So that's really like greatly appreciated. And then like the rest of this, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with, but I'll do something with it. Now, this is another way of just picking things, right? To go through things. Here's the mood board. I haven't done that yet. But here, it said book library, and I got rid of the book part, so I scribbled that out, and it just says library, and I started putting my alphabets at the top. So I've got my A's, my B's, my C's, D's, E's, and so on, right? So the cool thing about this is I was able to then go onto the internet and just grab pictures off of random sites to put in as my title picture because, I mean, I'm not going to be making money off this. I'm not going to be like, so it doesn't really matter. I was just looking for title cards and or title pictures, right? So it's very, very easy to just grab a majority of them. There are some indie decks like this where I had to take a picture, and this one here and this one here, where I might eventually just take my own pictures and put it in that place. But for now, I at least have something there. And I tried to always take from the creator's site, so I'm not taking from anyone else, and just like borrowing the picture until I can take my own, right? Because I do plan on taking my own photography and filling them into the more of the indie ones that I had to, get into. Because there's not really like, yeah, you can go on to Amazon and get like the mass market photos, but the indie decks sometimes only have pictures like this available, right? And I mean, I could even probably go in and crop that all out and just make it like the actual picture, right? But I'll probably just take my own photography or my own pictures, sorry, when photography, my own, well, I guess it is my own photography, but like I'll take my own pictures when I get the opportunity to. Now, the really cool thing about this is when I touch on that, it brings me to this. So, this is one that I have not altered, right? And it's got like you can rate the stars, your favorite quote from the book, your book rating, the mood of the book, and it's got all like the genre, the start date, end date, recommended by, audiobook, ebook, right? So there's like a million things, right? Now what I did is I went in and I blacked out the things that didn't work for me. So I've got like, and I just started filling this out. It took me, if I can hit this, I'm sorry. It's hard to see because there's a glare. All right. Took me forever to do this. So I've got all my A's, my B's, C's, D's, and there is still some like this is a dirty pan. So this is like an independently produced deck from someone, and I have no idea who it's from. I cannot find any records on it. So I'm going to have to actually get that deck out and take pictures of it because there's no pictures available. It was like one of these fast little, I don't even know how to explain it. It was a purchase from like I've had that deck many, many, many years. I couldn't even find who created it or anything on it. So I mean, I'm stuck. I'll have to end up getting pictures for that one. But so I just have everything, right? And things like this, like I might change these pictures. So this is the first, I have the first edition and a linen edition. So I might actually take a picture of the linen edition cover and put that in there. So that looks good. Um, and this one I have to still change. So look, if we look at this, let me see if I can. So here, this is actually golden. It should be in front of this. And then I can come up here. We can make it centered like everything else is, and done. So it actually gives me the proper titles for the decks, which is awesome. Oh shit, I hit the wrong thing. Sorry. There we go. All right. Sometimes this thing frustrates me so much, and I'm like hitting everywhere and doing everything, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" But I eventually figure it out. Um, but yeah, so I've got there's all kinds of stuff, right? And then there was ones, and I got going, and then I was like, "Crap!" Like I almost filled up all the H's, and I didn't create another page because these are all in order. So if I grab one from over here and move it in here to fill the space, then it goes from 38 to 9 to 10. Like, you know what I mean? Like it screws up the numbers. So what I did is obviously I only have a few decks in I, and I isn't a very popular. There's only a few J's and K's. So I left space for that. And if I have to end up redoing it all at some point, well, then I guess I will. Or I'll just create another one. I don't know. Um, a lot of L's. So I got 2 pages for L's. A lot of M's. So I got 2 pages for M's. But then like my N's, I only have a few. Same with my O's. There's only a few. And then we've got my P's. And then I have another thing for P, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I still have 6 more spots. So if I end up getting more O's, I can always move the O's to the P's and move these P's down a little bit. Oh my gosh, it's so sensitive. Sorry. And then, you know, Q's, no Q's, R's, S's, obviously 2 pages of S's, 2 pages of T's, U's. I only have a few. So, I mean, if I have to shift everything over a little bit, I can, because I can just copy and paste, right, and move it all. And it makes it super simple. So there I have my catalog, and I can just move stuff around and I can put it wherever I kind of want. And I still have like, so no X's, no Y's, two Z's. And that puts me on page 29. So I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I still have 11 pages to work with. That's a lot. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's um it's very doable. And like I said, it's just copy and paste, move it around. I mean, I can then start, putting these into alphabetical order if I really wanted to. I could do that. I could go a little bit further. I just kind of threw them in there right now, just as I ran into them and put them in, right? So there's not anything, they're not in alphabetical order yet, as far as in the alphabet themselves, right? Now, with this, I decided, I was looking at it and I was like, what the heck can I do with this? So then I figured, you know what, I'll put the Antique Anatomy Tarot, write the title, I'll put the author. So we've got Claire Goodchild. I can put in like a genre, like I can put these into a genre category, right? That should be easy. I kept the date published because I thought that would be pretty cool to put in like the dates of the copies or whatever. And then it leaves more space if I want to put like first edition or limited edition or like whatever. It leaves more space for that. Here I can kind of include and write down, my experiences with it, what I used it for, what I enjoy using it for, if I really bonded with it, if I didn't really bond with it. I could do so much stuff. And then where quotes were, I figured this is a great way, to include the back of the cards. So I took, a scanned copy of the back of the card and threw that in there. And then I kept the readability and style because I thought that was kind of cool, but I might completely eliminate this. I haven't decided yet. So I might black that all out and just get rid of it. And then the mood, I thought that was kind of cool because I do find my decks definitely have certain moods or certain um attitude, even, right? Different attitudes, different moods, different things that they specialize in, things that they can help with. Things, some decks are a little bit more general. Some decks are really soft and deliver very gently. Some decks are in your face and are kind of rude and you're like, holy crap. And I just felt like that was a good spot to maybe write that down, right? So I mean, there's so much that you can do. And I haven't even scraped the surface yet, right? Now, on the reading journey, if I click here, you can actually now go in. I can write the title. Once again, paste and copy. I can eliminate a lot of this stuff here, make my notes, and then I can actually write down the date that I worked with it, my reading time, and see it says stopped on page. So what I might do is I might put the like the date I started working to the date that I stopped working. So I can, if I worked with it for a month, if I worked with it for a couple days, a couple weeks, I can record that. Stopped on that page, obviously I'm going to eliminate that, and then I'll have to change like what that maybe is for. And then here I've got like notes and feelings. So I mean, I can write down quite a bit. So I can kind of keep track of like when I used it, the last time I used it, if it's due to come out, if I tend to use it. I can write in here somewhere that like I tend to use it in the winter or I tend to use it in the summer. And I can come in and I can like eliminate these things and just make them more into what I want. And by that, it's very simply just, if I can get it to do it, I put it on pen. I've got it color matched. And because Good Notes is in layers, right? I do all of like my altering first. Once I have it into the what I want it to say and do, then I start including things so that it lays in layers and it doesn't it's hard to explain. If you know Good Notes and you use it, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it's kind of complicated to explain. And I didn't really want to get too much into that in this video. I just wanted to show how I'm creating this like digital catalog for myself. And you can come in here, audiobooks, right? You just color it out. Done. Gone. Ebook. Gone. And you can just eliminate like whatever you want. It's that simple, right? And then you can just undo, undo, undo. If you want to keep or go back and go back, go back, get rid of it, right? So like, I mean, there's so much you can do. And then that space is completely empty. And then you can just go in and you can pick your font, make your font, and then write whatever you want. Let me see here. And just put that. You can pick your font, the size, whatever you want it, and you can just put it up where you want it, right? So like, super simple, and I absolutely love it. So that's the reading journey, and that's really cool. Trackers. Let me see what trackers is. Oh, wait. So it doesn't change categories unless you're in that. So here's another thing that I might utilize. So maybe instead of using this, I might end up using this. Hold on a second. Oh, what's this? Wish list. Okay, so there's more. And that's the thing. This thing goes on forever. There's so many different like subcategories in like this column, right? So there's all of these. But if we go to trackers, this might be something I might use instead where I can actually track. So I have to kind of decide like what I'm going to do and what I'm going to use and what I'm not. And then I'm just going to maybe eliminate the things that I'm not going to use. And I'm not even sure. Yeah, see, so I can go in here and I can eliminate whatever I feel like eliminating. So that'll work. This is kind of cool too, though, where you hit January. See, and like this might be something that's better to use than that first one we looked at because I've got a little mini calendar in here. I can put in like the different dates, that date started, date ended. This actually might work out better than this reading journey area. So that's like I have to play with this and figure it out, right? Um, but I do like this. Favorites. You can kind of put your favorites in. So I'm not going to necessarily use all of this because obviously it's going to be a lot of like repeating information if I do. But there is things in here that I can use. Challenges. Like that's kind of cool. I don't know how I would use that. Maybe I can think of something to do with this and alter it somehow. And then we've got like obviously like just sections, like extra papers, extra things like that. Extra tablet tables, extra notes, blank pages, stickers. So I can put all my stickers in here that I want to use. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I think there's a lot that I can do with this. And I'm really excited to have found this because now I don't have to keep going and deleting and rewriting everything in here that just looks like a sloppy mess. This has a nice leather cover for it, by the way. Because I was in the middle of doing all of this, I took the cover off because it was getting annoying. Um, but yeah, look at how much cleaner and nicer this is, right? And I can move these around. Like I said, I can do so much stuff with this. So I don't know. I was super pumped about this. And I love that I got it. I got it on Etsy. It's literally under digital journal or something like that. I changed the names of it. Let's see if I can find it. Here's his like for the reading journal. This is like colors that you can color. Well, look at I drew on it. Oh my God. Okay. Holy cow. Okay, I'll get it, right? So there's colors that we can color match. Here's your fonts. So, I mean, if you really want to match your fonts, they're here. And he actually gives you like a link that if you click, it'll take you to wherever. We're not going to follow it. There's the original copy of it. So this is the original copy, and then I took it and put it into GoodNotes. So it said reading journal, and this is just all, it's all the original, you know, it says book library, all the stuff. So this is the original one. But he gives you excellent thing about deleting pages, copying, adding pages, like your hyperlinks, all this different stuff. Like he gives you so much information. I'm really excited about it. Super excited about it. And I can't wait to get in and start like putting in more information and just having it all on here. And then I can just grab it and I can look for things and I can find stuff. And the funny thing is for the longest time, I was like, I don't even need a catalog. Like, who needs a catalog? I'm at the point where I need a catalog. I'm starting to forget things. I'm starting to, um, some decks are starting to blend into others. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what is that deck called or what does it look like? And, I do have a lot of people in and out of here that, when I'm teaching and I'm doing stuff to pass through this area to go to the bathroom, I want to be able to keep track of my decks and where they are and what's going on with them. And so if something goes missing, it's very easy for me to be like, yeah, see, I did have that deck. Because sometimes I forget that I even purchased a deck. Like Animal Apothecary, I haven't even worked with it yet. I looked at it, flipped through it, pulled a card from it. Cute. Is it for me? Not 100% sure yet. Um, but I haven't even worked with it yet. Obviously, my Aquarian Tarot, I have my staples. Aquarian Tarot is one of them. This is the mini traveling tin. This is the full size. There's a couple in here that I'm like, me. I don't know if I'm keeping them. I don't know what's happening with them. I don't know what's going on. And I figured in here too, it'd be awesome to put like an indie deck, independently created deck. Is it, when it says genre, like I can put independently created deck, or I can put mass market, or I can put, um, maybe a different category. And I'm not really sure how I would do that. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to put independent or mass market. So I know my indie decks for my mass market, but I mean, it's usually pretty obvious. But just in case, like what happens if something happens to me, right? And now somebody has access to this and can kind of know what's going on and what's happening and what's where and whatnot, right? So I don't know. I'm excited. I think it's cool. I can't wait. I think it's amazing. And I'm really excited about this. So I don't know. I just felt like I needed to share because I was like, this is so freaking cool. But yeah, so this is what I've been up to the last couple days, is just putzing around at and trying to figure out what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. This is really weird though, how it keeps doing this. I'm not really sure. Like I said, the last update, it got real glitchy, and I don't know why, because if I exit out and then I go back in, it's there. So I don't, it's something to do with GoodNotes and like the change that it did. And I wasn't going to do it, but I was like, well, I should stay up to date. So I did it, and now I kind of regret it because it's not as good as the last one. I think this is GoodNotes 6, and I think it's GoodNotes 6. Does it say on here? No, it doesn't. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I liked the GoodNotes previous to this edition better. It was way less glitchier. This is full of glitches, and you know, it shouldn't be, but it is. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. I don't know. See, look at it, did it again. I'll have to see what that's all about. Not that I even really look at that often, to tell you the truth, but I might have to adjust that. But yeah, so that is my new digital catalog where, I can eliminate this now and turn this into what it was originally intended to be, which was a grimoire for my tarot and oracle. And I can keep all of this stuff on here. Yeah, it would probably be wise to keep a backup copy of paper, which I probably will, but I will take it out of this and I'll probably just grab a notebook and actually just write it all in, right? And at that time it's just on paper. So if something happens to this, I at least have it on paper. But this is so cool. And I can't wait to just get in here and change it. And I'll make videos like as I do things and I can show you guys like the different things that I've created or done. And I don't even know if this even interests anybody, but it floats my boat and I think it's super cool. So, anyways, if you liked, subscribe, comment, follow along, all that wonderful stuff. Stay warm unless you're in the south, then stay cool. But here it's getting cold. We're actually going to, they're saying we're going to have a mild December. So I don't even know. We've gotten a little bit of snow at this point, but it hasn't stayed. Last year on Christmas Eve, we had a hurricane blizzard where we were getting blasted with 90-mile-an-hour winds of snow squalls, and it shut down everything, and people were abandoned in their cars overnight, and it was insane. So let's hope that this Christmas isn't the same because that weather is not typical to this area. Other than obviously it has been changing over the last couple years. Um, but hopefully it's just going to be a nice Christmas. Maybe a little bit of dusting, but I like being able to get out and about and go where I need to go without having to dig myself out and be worried about going into a ditch on the way to Christmas dinner. So I don't mind if this Christmas ends up being a little bit more rainy than snowy, especially after last year. Last year, like I said, was a disaster. So hopefully, everybody enjoys their holidays. We're right on top of it. I think we're close. We've got like 3 more weeks, and then we're into the midst of it all. Unfortunately, we're going to be in Mercury in retrograde for the entire month, like starting in a week of Mercury in retrograde, and it won't be gone until after the new year. So we all know what Mercury means, right? So check your communications, make sure you have excess stuff. Your cars might break down, you might have trouble with the stove or a fridge or something. So just be prepared. Just make sure that you're making your phone calls and conversations and texts and make sure your plans are clear. Make sure people are understanding what you're saying to avoid fights and confrontation and confusion. And yeah, I hope everybody has a great December. And like I said, I'll keep up with this and let you guys know what's going on with it. Um, thank you to you know who you are for this beautiful, beautiful altar spread cloth. It's gorgeous. And I'll see you guys on the next one.